All right, this is so important. Inflammation and immune imbalance is not what we need as we head into cold and flu season. Luckily, we've got this guy, our good friend, City Health expert Bryce Wald. It's so good to see you here.
My vitamin
live.
D. Sun is one thing, but to be in front of you is such a pleasure.
I
so
missed
good to
you.
see you. You look amazing.
You look amazing, and you are always so knowledgeable, and I can't believe you're finally here. It's about time. Let's tackle, first of all things inflammation.
Right. This is the name of the game. Inflammation is a buzzword of today, and it has been for many years, because why? It underlies all disease.
Yeah.
Frankly, all niggles and, problems in our
Yes.
body, joints, and so forth, but also major disease. All right, so there's things you can find in local health food stores or even your local produce store or Asian produce store that are super helpful. Starting with these guys. You know what the theme is here?
Probiotics.
Well, yeah, bingo from
Kimchi.
fermented foods. And actually, that's the hero. Kimchi is super huge. If you're not into probiotics from food, from these fermented foods, by the way, pickles count. Kombucha is one of my new favorite beverages.
Can you drink it every day? Diva was asking me that because I do.
100% you can.
Yes.
However, and this is the whole key, you don't necessarily achieve therapeutic levels. I'm all about that. So if you have bowel distress, irritable bowel syndrome, and or inconsistencies, go for therapeutic ranges by buying a good broad spectrum probiotic at the health food store.
Got it. Especially if you don't enjoy those foods, you're probably not going to get that. Okay.
Right. So supplementing is key in some cases. So from probiotics, we go over to prebiotics. And thank God she corrected me before coming on air. I'm not one to actually consume jicama, and I was calling it jicama.
Spelled with a J.
Just like I call fa-fo.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's okay.
But
no,
nonetheless, what I've
do.
learned about this, and I've just started using this, and I'll probably continue to call it jicama for a while. But jicama, I've started using this because it's so rich in prebiotic. It feeds the probiotic. This is food the probiotics like to thrive on. They need to eat too. But we know what I do with this. I cut it thinly, and I pan fry it, and it replaces tortillas. You know what we have to stay away from is refined flours and sugars. Why? That induces inflammation.
Okay, question. Do you take the skin off or you just give it a
peel
good
it.
wash?
You absolutely want to peel it, wash it, cut it thinly, pan fry it. No oil necessary. Just heat it up. It serves as a nice,
Beautiful.
between. Yeah, absolutely. So once again, the theme is remove refined flours and sugars out of your diet and use things with higher fiber like jicama as replacements. And again, if you want to get a prebiotic, you can also buy them in powder form. Look for guar bean extracts in powder form.
Propolis.
Right? Yeah, so really wonderful to lower inflammation, boost the immune system. Essentially, there's all kinds of bee products. They don't just make honey and wax and so forth. They actually make this spit that they actually use themselves to enhance their beehives.
So in the hives, it's the little things that, like the resin.
Essentially the comb, as we know, is the honeycomb. It's the resin that holds the honey.
Right.
That's infrastructure is what is propolis. Now, this is also incredible. Mummies or Egyptians used to embalm mummies, with this stuff, and actually it was used for, wound healing. So it's an incredible inflammation manager.
So how are we taking that? How are we consuming it?
So this is pollen. So put pollen in your shake. It adds a really nice, rich texture. It actually it increases the thickness if your shake's otherwise thin. Continue to eat your local honey as well, but you can also buy propolis in a supplement form and take it again to lower inflammation and enhance immune function during the season.
What if we have an allergy to pollen? It's a totally different kind of pollen.
No, it's a contraindication. Thank you for that. You want to actually not consume this. Just as we'll talk about a remedy next, actually, and that's an herb that we might want to avoid if you have a certain allergy.
Thank you.
Okay, so tart cherries. We were juggling with this just before the break.
Yeah, they look delicious.
And they're all different forms. This is so powerful that this actually helps cure people with gout. This is joint inflammation. So it's that powerful against inflammation. Polyphenols, high-dose vitamin C in this stuff, and lycopene. So the theme here is this red texture. It's super tart, so if you don't like that really bitter tart, either in the cherry, the frozen cherry, the dried cherry, you can actually purchase tart cherry supplements.
Hold on, can I eat this just like this? Or you
can try it, absolutely.
You
it's totally defrosted. You can try it. It's going to be really chewy.
How else do you do it? Like in a
blender,
smoothie?
you can put it into baked goods. It's really chewy. It's not bad, right? Right? Right?
There's a pit in there.
Yeah, you got to watch that. Yeah, you want to make sure you a manual de-pitting exercise.
Other than that,
here.
it's like a giant raisin.
Right.
No, it's good.
Exactly. When they're dried, they actually conserve the sugar and they're not so tart. Echinacea. This is my absolute go-to. I mentioned maybe the exception if you have seasonal allergies that are ragweed specific.
Yes.
You may want to avoid, especially drinking the tea.
How
but
come?
in tincture, because it's actually the same family. So ragweed, this is like fall time.
It'll heighten it.
It'll actually enhance it. Some of the same family, Solanaceae, they actually might get the same kind of response.
Good to know.
No anaphylaxis, no trips to the hospital.
But you might just
actually
be feeling those
sneezy.
allergies.
But it's an incredible antiviral. In particular, in this spray form, all right? And this actually works the back of the throat. So look for Vogel echinophorus. It's really powerful.
Easy.
Easy, it kills viruses at the back of the throat. 30 human clinical trials, antiviral, anti-cold flu. It's actually Health Canada approved for those
We're almost out of time. I want to get to, they call me Palmello.
Right? So we all know about grapefruit and the citrus family. Continue to eat that. But guess what is the powerhouse that trumps all of these for vitamin C?
The giant one?
The pomelo. And you know, this color here, this orangey kind of color, again, lycopene is found really high in this. Lycopene's amazing. It's Prostate Awareness Month. It's November.
Also in tomatoes when you add oil and cook it.
Bingo. It's actually a little higher in tomatoes, but nonetheless is a superpower for vitamin C, antioxidants, lycopene. If you don't like the citrus variety, you can also buy lycopene at the health food store and supplement.
So eat it like an orange or throw it in a smoothie. Throw some cherries in there, some propolis and all that, and you're good to go.
Get this in, folks. It's the time of the year. We want to stay healthy all year long. Immunity is no longer local and seasonal. It's all year long.
Where do we find more?
Wild On Health. Thank you. I'm doing a study right now for inflammation. This is an immune managing anti-inflammatory study. If folks are interested, CELLF.com. They can join and register. It's a little research program that I put together with these kinds of ingredients to help lower chronic inflammation, get you healthier.
So important. And you can glow just like this one does all the time. Love to you and your family.
Thank
Good to
you
see
so
you.
much. I appreciate it.
Coming up next, friends.